This episode of Power Women of the Trades is also brought to you by Forrest Perry of Forrest Perry Digital Marketing. Want to generate more leads for your service business? Trust his team to deliver quality new customer leads and protect your brand online. Check out perrymarketing.com today.
Most businesses' online presence is boring, and by being boring, they're losing out on potential sales and customers. Being interesting and exciting is what draws customers in and gets them to buy from you. But it's hard to be interesting online when you're focused on running your business and taking care of your customers. It doesn't have to be this way. We have the key to unlocking the solution to your problem. Key Heart Marketing can help take your business from boring to brilliant on social media. We can vouch for them. They run our podcast socials. If you want to have a strong social media presence that allows customers to know, like, and trust you, connect with Key Heart Marketing at keyheartmarketing.com.
Rival Digital is a full-service premier digital marketing agency for the home services industry. We offer everything from website design, search engine optimization, online advertising, public relations, and more. If you're interested in learning more about the services we offer for contractors just like yourself, head on over to rivaldigital.com, and we look forward to chatting with you. Hey everyone, this is Eric Thomas with Rival Digital, and I am proud to announce that we are the newest sponsor for the Power Women of the Trades podcast. We've been a big fan and supporter of the show for years, and we are just very excited and very honored for the opportunity to now be one of the podcast sponsors. So make sure you check out their page and subscribe to the podcast and listen in on wherever you get your podcast episodes from.
Welcome to Power Women of the Trades podcast. This show is all about breaking barriers and changing the game. Our guests will feature some of today's most successful female entrepreneurs and other advocates of our industry as well. Because if there's one thing we know for sure, female-led entrepreneurship drives change on multiple levels. We want to empower women in the trade industry like you so you can maximize your potential, stay balanced, achieve long-term success, and claim ownership over your life. Let's get started.
Welcome back to Power Women of the Trades podcast with Cassie and Kaylee. Today we have Rachel Kent with Rival Digital, and I'm so excited. I literally am always trying to not say I'm so excited, but I literally am excited for every guest. But I'm excited, Rachel, for you to be here. We are going to unpack all the wonderful things about Rachel, but also we're friends, and We're excited for you to be here with us. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here as well.
Awesome. Okay, so who's Rachel Kent?
So Rachel Kent, never in a million freaking years did I think I would end up in the home service industry. So I'm actually an event management major. I minored in business, and I unfortunately graduated during the pandemic when no events were taking place.
No.
Yeah, it was really, really bad timing. But at the same time, my dad actually has a small manufacturing company here in Indianapolis where he private labels UV lights and sells them to contractors. And he had actually got diagnosed with kidney failure as soon as I graduated. And being the only child, I kind of knew that if I didn't step in and help, the business was going to go under. So that's kind of how I bobbed and weaved my way into the home service space. I went around and cold called for a couple years, ended up growing at 52%, and then went to some trade shows, met some incredible people, and found my way into digital marketing. And here we are.
That's awesome. I didn't know the UV light thing. So is that still around?
It is still around, and that is his tactic. He likes to be disruptive. He doesn't make appointments with the contractors. He just researches the top 10 contractors in a city, private labels the UV lights, goes in, drops it off. We felt like that was the most effective because with UV lights, it's one thing to say oh, this UV light works, but it was a technical product that the contractor would actually end up taking back to their house and installing it. And then they would call us back and order. So,
okay. After this, I need to know, do we want to talk? I want to know more about this UV light. So you want to tell me now or you want to tell me later? I don't know.
I can tell you now.
What's the company?
NatureSoft Air Product Solutions.
Okay, cool.
So he's actually involved in both HVAC and plumbing. So he also makes hydrogen peroxide and resin cleaner that contractors can sell to people who treat wells or treat water softeners. So he kind of found his way. As you know, HVAC is very seasonal. So he had to find another avenue to explore when that was slow. So
yeah, I love this, Rachel. I had no clue.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to learn more about this offline, and because we always want to offer new and different products to our customers. We offer UV lights now, but like I'm always here to learn about new things, and I had no clue. That's so cool that that's kind of like your intro here into the space. And then you said you were at the trade shows, which I see you at all of them. So that's still your thing. And then you get in with Rival Digital, which is Digital is now a podcast sponsor. We appreciate you.
Yes.
So what do you do at Rival?
So at Rival, I'm an account manager. I work with around 30 different accounts throughout the US. I meet with my accounts monthly and just go over SEO, analytics, digital advertising, statistics, strategize with them. Honestly, I've kind of had the same accounts since I first started around 2 years ago, and a lot of my accounts kind of become family. I absolutely love my role here at Rival, and I think what makes it really exciting is getting to know my accounts on such a personal level in addition to professional. And then when I see them grow and be successful, it just makes it 10 times better. So
that's awesome. Yes. We're one of your customers.
Yes, we are.
Stellar Garage Doors. And everyone always asks that question about, well, why isn't quality there also? And we're like, well, they honor exclusivity, and so do we. And so they do everything for Stellar Garage Doors for us, and not with the HVAC, plumbing, and electric side. And I appreciate that Rival behaves that way. And anyways, but I agree with you on all of your relationships and the people that you work with, building like a family-like relationship. You know, I know Kaylee, you talk to Kaylee more than me, really. Now we see each other on Facebook.
Yeah. Kaylee and I live in each other's Slack DMs.
Yes,
and then
we do.
Really, really curious. She'll just call me or I'll call her. But I love the fact that we can have that relationship. I think in digital marketing, with vendors especially, it's super important to feel like you can actually get in touch with your vendor, especially with how important digital marketing is and the service
100%.
we provide.
Because like if something goes wrong or like a number stops working or something, I can easily call Rachel really quick and be like, hey, I need something fixed. Or like I need this added to our website, or we need to change this. And she'll be super responsive and get it done like that. And I really appreciate that because we love to move quick around quality and Stellar. So
yes, I know. I really personally create tasks for myself to follow up with Kaylee on stuff just because I know how extensive your workload is. And I'm like, Kaylee, this can't slip through the cracks because I want Cassie to get mad at us. So we got to get this done.
Right. And for the record, when do I ever get mad, Kaylee? Kaylee comes in and she's always like, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, why are you talking to me like I have beat you? Like,
I think it's your personality, Cassie. Like you have a very dominant personality and you are not afraid to say whatever you're thinking. And people know that. So.
True. But I'm not mean.
No, she's not.
I'm never mean. And so I try to like, listen, I'm flipping the air conditioner on in this room right now so I don't die. It's getting toasty in here. But I'm not mean, and I don't want anyone to ever think that. So I'm always like,
no, you're not mean.
Are you okay? Like you're fine. But I also appreciate that with Kaylee. And I think you basically saying the same thing. You also have a level of personal accountability. So when you do make a mistake or something happened or something didn't go the way you intended to, you are holding yourself accountable to that. And then the apology sometimes is not for me, it's for you. You know, sometimes with Kaylee, I'm like, okay, love you, bye. And she's like, okay, I just had to say it out loud, you know, or whatever. So
yes.
Yeah, I definitely find that with myself too. I feel like I'm an over communicator. Like with all of my accounts, I just want them to know where we're at with stuff, progress being made. I never want them to ask, so where are we at with this? So that's that.
So Rachel, now that you've been in the digital marketing world for a little bit, what's your favorite part about digital marketing?
I think as someone who gets bored very easily, I think this is the perfect career that I decided to pursue. There's always something new to learn. It's constantly changing. It allows me to use my creative output and also just being able to strategize with my accounts and with certain revenue attribution tools, seeing the real results, the tangible results. Nothing makes me happier than seeing my accounts achieve their goals and seeing success. So I think as a whole, just digital marketing really floats my boat.
And I feel like the event planning probably was helpful because there's so many things that you have to like juggling at one time, and then like moving and making sure this is, it's like a well-oiled, once you get it going, it's a well-oiled machine, but things are still moving and changing and parts are being added. And I mean, there's so many things about digital marketing since we've been in business that I'm like, what? Yeah. What's Google doing now? Right. What's happening now?
Yes, absolutely. And it's funny that you say that because with a lot of the events and stuff that Rival participates in, that's kind of where Eric has also utilized me in helping organize that or plan stuff. So it definitely has came in handy to have that in my background. So that's a really good point, Cassie.
For sure. Yes. For sure. So what is your... Well, okay, wait, hang on. You said something about today's such a weird day. We're filming this or recording this on the day before Thanksgiving. I have no clue when it'll air. Sometimes I say that. But like holiday weeks.
Yes, my brain's dead.
Holiday weeks are weird. Yeah. So let's talk about that. So in our building on a holiday week, we still have revenue that we have to do, but we are also dealing with the public who we're going to their house and they're off. So now we're kind of a more inconvenience because they want to be at the store or something. And then they, or our employees' spouses are off. Mm-hmm. And it's really one day that we're closed, but it feels like the whole week is kind of off. So on your side, how do you guys help? Do you guys like pre-plan anything to help contractors with that? On the weeks, like it's one day can mess up a whole week.
Yeah, I think it definitely depends. From an advertising perspective, like if we are working with a plumbing company, maybe we're going to increase the bid that week just because, like you said, your plumbing company or your plumbing division right now is super swamped. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of a better answer for that.
I mean, I'm not trying to put you on the spot on that, but do you feel that feedback from your other customers? Is it just us that sometimes feel like, maybe it's just us, you can tell us it's just us, but I feel like sometimes one day closed turns into a week of pain because that one day jacks so much up.
Yeah, I mean, the holidays definitely don't help.
Not at all. And then we're going to do this Thanksgiving thing, and then we're going to roll into December.
From our perspective, like this week is just a really quiet week because you guys are so busy trying to put extra work into other stuff and to try to accommodate for that one day being closed. I mean, truthfully, from our side, like things are pretty quiet on the holiday weeks.
Well, that's interesting. I wondered if like some of how every other contractor behaves, are they like, I'm not busy and it's your fault? I know that's what you get a lot anyways, but we know that's not your fault, respectfully.
Yes, that was one of the questions that I sent Kaylee. Kaylee, I don't know if you want to ask it, but
yeah, what's the biggest challenge when working with contractors on marketing?
Sometimes I feel like contractors think that when they hire a digital marketing company, it's the end all be all solution. And as great as we are, if you don't have stuff figured out operationally, or you're not involved with the community or just doing other things, there's not a whole lot that we can do on our end to make up for that.
I think you guys have done a good job of like pre-interviewing customers or potential clients and seeing if that person, and I think we all get into a spot in our companies and where we can get to a point where we can just decide that customer's not for us, and we have to make that decision regularly. And I imagine that you guys are now in that position that you get to do that. But 100%, there's so many people who we've talked to that they want to replicate what we've done, or they want to hire our vendors, or they want to do this or that or whatever. And it's like, you're never going to get what you wanted out of that because you don't have the operation.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. And every time I see those Facebook group messages that are like, well, I hired this company and they haven't got me a single lead. I'm like,
it all goes back to marketing can get you up to the plate, but you have to swing the bat. Like marketing can do all the legwork to get you the call, but it starts with the call center. The call center has to answer it. They have to book it. The technician has to go to the house, give them the experience that your marketing team has shown that you give, and execute on that. So I always talk about how marketing doesn't just stop whenever the phone rings. It also is the team too. Like how our technicians are dressed, how they act whenever they're in the home, the service they provide. Like it's a whole team effort whenever it comes to that.
Exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth. And that's, Cassie, to your point too, like we have gotten to the point where we understand that not everyone is our customer, and it's totally okay to turn people away, because it honestly will end up being more of a headache if you don't. What is the word? Vet them out. That's what I was.
Vet them out. Listen, yesterday I was talking to someone on a call and I was like, well, like we really subscribe to all of the strategies of this specific person, which now I sound like an idiot because I couldn't talk about that specific person. And I'm like, Kaylee, who is it? The guy that does this and that and blah, blah, blah. And she's like,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know. And anyways, it was Gary Vee.
Oh, okay.
Why did I forget his name?
We got back to it though. We reeled it back in.
We had to reel me back in. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know what word you're talking about right now. But you have to vet your customers out, and you have to be able to, like thinking about that. Okay, Kaylee. So sometimes we on this side, the contractor side, we have to vet our customers out, right? And just be like, yeah, that's not going to work. Sometimes we're just we're not the right company for you. But can you imagine dealing with some of the local other contractors as your customer? I don't envy you. I've said that multiple times. Like there is no way that I would be
a digital marketing
in the trades. No, because the trades has created such a shit show on social media by some of our trades influencers who are like, oh, hire this person or do that or do this. And you're going to make $50 zillion and you're going to do this. And then, oh, hire my guy, only my guy, and do this and whatever. And then they do that and then nothing happens. And then that experience has set them up to now go to you and try to get something, and it's like, set up for failure.
There's so much noise, I feel like, in this industry. And I appreciate people wanting to take other people's opinions and perspective, but you know how it goes when that happens. So
you just got to be, I think if for anyone listening, you just have to be like really careful of the advice that you take. Take advice. There's a lot of advice to be given, and there's a lot of really good information out there, but be careful because some of the advice is being given to you with a kickback. It's being given to you because they're getting a paycheck. It's not smart advice. It's not good, and then what you do is then you take that random crap that you advise, and then you go to your digital marketers and are like, make this happen. And they're like, that's never going to work.
Yeah, I think that's also like another frustration too, is like when you get hired by a contractor and then they're trying to drive the strategy. Like I would never hire a plumber or an HVAC technician to come into my home and tell them how to fix my unit or my toilet because they're the experts. And so that's another big frustration I feel like that any marketing company has. You guys probably experience it yourself.
And I also feel like people think marketing, well, this is a hot take, but I'm going to say people think that marketing is like the easiest job in the world. And they think it's easy. And like, I saw something that was like, marketing is the hardest job that looks easy.
It's not. It's different per contractor. It's different per market. It's different upon where they're at in their journey. It's definitely not an easy job by any means.
One day, Kaylee said, it's hard being responsible for every call that comes in this building. And I was like, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. But it is, but with that same, like, yes, she's responsible, or let's say in some worlds, whoever you're working with, you are responsible for some of the calls that come through the building. Absolutely. But you can't answer the call and do what they're supposed to do with it. And I think that contractors are so, and I, to be honest with you, we're opening a boutique, and I'm now in a new world of boutique Facebook groups.
Okay.
And I'm just telling you right now that I say contractors, I think it's just freaking business owners. It's not specific to contractors. It's just business owners that they're like, you are the person that's going to solve all my problems, my marketing company. And that's not how this gig works. They're a partner.
Yes, we are a partner. We're here to assist you along the way. However, we're not here to tell you what your marketing budget should be. We're not here to tell you what your logo and your colors should mean or your brand messaging.
And then, or like what we want to be able to be like, hey, like this is the type of ad that we're thinking about running and blah, blah, blah. Right. And then we want the advice of like, nah, girl, we've seen that, done that. We're not doing that. That's great advice. Or, hey, this is what we're thinking. It's a partnership. It's communicating. And I was one of the ones in the beginning that was kind of like, no, I hired you. What are we supposed to do? And they're like, that was like 10 years, however many years ago. And I'm like, what do you mean I'm still having to tell you what to do? Like I hired you. And so it's kind of like a full circle until you kind of get exposed to, no, we have to still communicate, and there has to be someone on the inside. I don't like Rachel's in Indy, and we're in Glenpool, Oklahoma. That's not the same.
And we always tell our contractors that too. Like, obviously, we have ideas and advice, but you guys know your market the best. You know your business the best. We can communicate and strategize and come up with, bounce ideas off together, but we don't know your business to the level that you do.
Mm-hmm. Or what's happening. I work in this business every day, and sometimes I have to walk out and be like, hey, Kaylee, wait a second. Is that even working? And I'm seeing it every day. So I think that's just good perspective for people to take into mind when you're trying to hold your marketing company accountable to things that are like unrealistic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Rachel, what's been your favorite part about working in the trades?
I honestly think hands down the people. Like, this industry is so big, yet it's so small. I've never experienced an industry where people are just willing to help share tips and tricks of how to grow and succeed. I mean, Cassie, you're even a true testament to that when you came to our event in Cancun. The presentation that you gave over social media, how you utilized AI, ChatGPT, just to kind of make everything kind of come full circle together, taking something honestly not that hard, but simplifying it into a way that everyone can understand. We are in the service business. We help people, and that really is true to our core. And you can see that when talking to other people in the trades. I feel like I have a work family by all means, especially going to all the trade shows and stuff that I have. So
yeah, I think, as much as we're saying, like, on one token, like the contractors are like not listening. It's the same side though. Like, why have we stuck around? Why have we like stayed in doing this business? And like the people are people, it's ironically, I'm going to send you this after this call. And I was just going through like old drafts in my TikTok, and I had recorded this TikTok in July. And I didn't remember the TikTok until I listened to it, and it's in my drafts. And I had like basically said like, today was a hard day, blah, 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 whatever. But I felt like God on the way home had told me like, you're dealing with people. You're literally dealing with people. Give them a freaking break, And I put myself now like 3 months later back into that conversation. And I was like, that was such like seeing it on the other side, We're just dealing with people every day, and there's really freaking good people in this industry, and there's really good people that want to share a lot of knowledge and information, and you just always have the ability to learn if you slow down and listen.
Yes, I think building the right relationships, staying curious, you can absolutely learn whatever you need to if you connect with the right people in this industry. There's always someone willing to help.
Yeah, for sure. So speaking of AI, ChatGPT, right? I'm a ChatGPT fan now. It's funny because like you have to come full circle with that, because if you talk to me like we should go back to old episodes where I was like, AI, blah. I'm like,
how often are you on your ChatGPT, Cassie? All day, every day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My ChatGPT calls me Cass, like CASS. Like we're
hilarious.
Like she knows me. I think it's a she. I think her name's a she. I think I call her Gigi. I've kind of been thinking Gigi.
Have you personalized it like on the back end where you like teach it like this is my writing style, or do you think it's just learned you from talking to it so much?
It's learned it like through the settings?
Yes.
No, I have not done that, but I have like through communicating, no, I wouldn't say that. Don't do that. And no, I would, fix that. And then every once in a while I'll be like, no, that was stupid. And then she'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like I talk to my ChatGPT like we're friends.
I do. I always say please and thank you because I feel like it gives me the best responses when I'm super polite and proper to it. But I've also personalized my ChatGPT so it understands my writing style. It understands the way I think.
And I need to look into that, Kaylee.
Yeah.
Have you done that? I have not. So yeah, and then sometimes I'll be like, yo, girl, I seriously, I should just show, that would be such a funny clip of like some of the messages that I've sent to my ChatGPT. Cause I'll be like, yo, girl, that ain't it.
But you guys use it so effectively for your guys' social media and your offers that you guys do. Cause I'm always like, Kaylee, what offers do you have? And I know that you use your ChatGPT and you're like, okay, ChatGPT is recommending this. We're going to figure out somehow to accomplish that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But what one really cool thing is that Kaylee used to say, Cassie, I need you to ask your ChatGPT because it knows quality better. It knows this better or whatever. And so I was able to, you can prompt it and say, which now I think they have a new business setting that you can share things with that they have been introing. However, I prompted it to basically build a new employee starting handbook that employee would upload into their own ChatGPT and say, this is where I work and this is what I do and these are the people and blah, 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 blah. And now her ChatGPT knows me or my ChatGPT, basically, like my information. And so it's wild. I mean, sometimes when I sit down and think about it, I'm like,
it's crazy.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah. It's kind of scary. And we get a lot of contractors, like obviously in a lot of my monthly calls that are asking about ChatGPT. A lot of it though is pertaining to how can I populate and search? How can I better use ChatGPT? I mean, you guys are using it in the correct way. I think using AI answering call services for overflow after hours is super effective and efficient. I don't think using that full time is the best, in my opinion. But for your custom chatbots, your scheduling, your invoicing, there's just so many different ways to use ChatGPT in an efficient way to help your business succeed and grow.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you just had, like I said, going back to, you have to just like open your mind to it because I was like hell-bent on not interested at all. And then once I kind of figured out like, wait a second, all AI isn't bad here. And then started teaching it. Now my life is way easier on some things that I'm like, well, I don't know. Like, let's ask for some advice from Gigi.
I would have loved to have had ChatGPT when I was working for my dad's company because when he was sick, he couldn't really teach me anything about UV lights. And I was kind of flying off the seat of my pants going into these companies because they thankfully knew more about the UV lights than I did. I just had to display the product and explain the benefits of having a private label product, building brand awareness. Quite honestly, I feel like he was way ahead of his time when it came to private labeling. He started this like 10 to 11 years ago. And now private labeling, every single person is jumping on that bandwagon. But my life would have been so much easier if I would have had ChatGPT.
If you could have like figured out the details of
yes.
There's so many things that I prompt that thing. Sometimes I'm like, okay, do a deep dive web search of this and give me this. And sometimes, first of all, that deep dive search took 37 seconds. And I'm like, how'd you do that so fast? Like, that's the scary part. But then the information, and someone one time was like, do you really trust all the information? And sometimes I fact check it. Sometimes I've caught a few things here and there, but you can get so much information and then dumb it down. And I'm on this whole kick right now of like investing money, and I don't like to ask questions that I don't know the answer to. Or, okay, wait, I can ask questions that I don't know the answer to, but I don't want to sound like a freaking idiot. And so I'm like, I have Gigi telling me like, okay, now explain that to me like I'm 5.
Mhm.
I did the same thing for our insurance plans because
Mhm.
insurance to me is the most confusing thing ever. So I uploaded my insurance plan, my husband's, and explained some of our family goals in the next couple of months and had it completely break it down for me of what
Mhm.
makes the most sense deductible copay wise. And I was like, thank you, Jesus, because this would have taken me forever to figure out.
Mhm.
Yeah. And there's so many things in there. Every contract or agreement that a vendor gives us, she scans for me and tells me what to call out and ask, and or what might not be legal or what I should be concerned about. Like there's just a lot of things that you can have do. But I would say if for anyone's listening and hearing some of the things we're talking about, do not do any of these things on a free version.
Yeah, definitely have the paid version. Do not upload numbers, financials, anything unless you are paying.
Yes, because you do not want that stuff being shared. And then also you can do a temporary chat. The temporaries that doesn't save the information. So that's really exciting. Like cool. I had a friend this weekend that had like a test result from a doctor that she didn't understand, but I didn't want to teach my chat GPT. So I just did a temporary chat. And so nothing that I put in there saved, and was like, hey, can you decipher this for my friend and what questions she should ask her doctor? And like,
That's so smart.
it's
Honestly,
so,
that is so smart. I didn't even think about that. I don't know. There's so many different ways that you
yeah.
can use
When
it.
Haley was in the hospital for those days and they kept telling me they just thought it was a stomach virus and blah, 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 I just kept uploading her stuff in there. And ChatGPT is the one that kept telling me to push to check her for C. diff. And she had C. diff.
Wow,
Mhm.
that's incredible. I used it a lot
Yeah.
before we went on our honeymoon to Africa.
Yeah, it's cool. It's just like, it's really cool. So you've got to open your brain to it and be willing. Cause like I said, I sound like a full ass hypocrite because I was like, I hate chat AI like 2 years ago. And now
Yeah.
she's my girl.
The contractors that are making the most of it are going to be the ones that are going to succeed. The ones that are embracing it and learning it are going to be the ones that are going to succeed. So,
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, Rachel, what excites you about the future and where the industry is going?
literally everything Cassie and I just talked about. I think there's so many opportunities with the advancement of AI and different ways that contractors can use it in their business. Like Cassie just said, the example of the employee handbook. I think for companies that are just starting out, creating those SOPs, processes, procedures, I think that's going to be a game changer.
Mhm.
I don't know. I just think there's so many opportunities for contractors to take advantage of with technology and how it's changing and evolving.
Yeah.
Our industry is modernizing. So
Oh, for sure. For sure. I agree with all of that. Well, some final advice here. What advice would you give to women who might be interested in joining the trades?
I think you should go for it. I never thought I was going to be here. I think you should say yes to any opportunity that comes your way. Find your tribe, network, build relationships, stay curious. And I think by doing that, you can build a career that you love.
Mhm.
Kaylee, I'm sure you can relate. You probably never thought you were going to go into home services.
I
And
did not. I was thinking I would go into the sports marketing realm or a boutique realm, which is ironic that we're open or Cassie's opening a boutique and I'm gonna get to help a little bit with that. But yeah, you never know unless you try. And I applied and I would not change it for the world now. I love it and the people, and I've learned so much over the past 3 years that I've been in the industry that I probably wouldn't have learned if I didn't. So
I'm
very
so
thankful.
curious, Cassie, did you have multiple people apply for the position? Did you know Kaylee previously or
Everyone thinks that.
No,
Everyone thinks
I
that
did
we've
not
known each
know
other.
her. And I went back and there were like 30 or 40 applicants. And I was really just looking for someone who could I was looking for someone that could like come in and with like new fresh perspective, new fresh, And so whenever I saw that and some people, when you interview for a job, right out of college, you can't get a job because you didn't have the experience. But I wanted that. I wanted her I wanted someone right out of college. And so whenever I saw that she was about to graduate and all of that, I was like, I need to interview this one. And I had like 3 in-person interviews and really was maybe going to hire someone, and then just happened to go through, and she applied. And like, I think I messaged her like
10 minutes later,
10 minutes after she applied. Yeah. And then I interviewed her on Zoom because she was still at college. And then it went pretty quickly from there. And then I just basically immediately knew that was my girl. And then she came in, and her first day I was like, listen, I need you to know who I am as a person. Mm-hmm. I am never the type to be mean, but I am very direct. And sometimes that can come off one way. And I just need you to communicate. And so if I've come off harshly to you, I need you to tell me, because I like really focus on not being a mean person or mean to people, mm-hmm. But I know sometimes I've like really worked on that. And so from the beginning, and she was like, and then I was like, and also I don't even know how to train you because someone told me to hire you and I don't know what to teach you. And she was like, okay. And so I'm like, so we're just going to train like trial by fire. And like within like 3 months, her title had already changed, and she started just taking over all the vendor relationships. And yeah, it was pretty crazy. It's wild though, still to this day, when I hire a new vendor, that I have to say, Kaylee is responsible for all decision-making from here. You do not need me to approve anything. If she doesn't feel comfortable, she'll come to me, but people still like
they have to
act as if she can't be the decision maker. And I'm like, mm-mm.
Never had that with Rival though. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah, never ever
had that with Rival. But I think it was just like my age, especially starting out. I was 22, fresh out of college. Mm-hmm. They're like, "Can she really be making this decision?" I'm like, "Yes, I can." But they would still want to be like, "Can Cassie get on this call?" And then I remember one time Cassie got on the call and she was like, "Listen, Kaylee, I'm on this call, but Kaylee is the one that will make the decisions, and you need to understand that." And they're like, "Okay, yes." Like I'm
like, it's disrespectful to her position and the like trust that I've put in her. But anyways, I can go on a whole rabbit hole on that. I just had that happen again with another leader in this company that they had a call with someone and they kept saying that I needed to be on it. And basically it was to just like make sure she was okay to make the decision. And I lost it. I'm like, listen, that's so disrespectful. But anyways, yeah, that's the story of Kaylee. It was, I guess, fate.
Yeah. No, it definitely is. I mean, anyone that knows about quality knows about Cassie and Kaylee duo. And I think you're incredible, Kaylee. I think it's very impressive what you've done, especially, I know you're a little bit younger than me, but you've done so much and you've done great in your career. And you have a good leader who's there as your supporter and your friend. And that sucks that people do that.
Yeah, I think it's part of the being a woman in our space too. Unfortunately, it just is. There's still people this many years later that call Oscar for a decision, and he's like, "You literally know that Cassie is going to make that decision and not me." You follow her on social media and knows that she's in charge of marketing, not me.
Yeah, I definitely experienced that when I was working for my dad's company too. Just because I literally was handling everything, and they were like, "Where's your dad? Where's your dad?" And he was at no place to make any decisions or talk to anyone. So any of those vendors that kind of treated me that way, we just found new ones. So
yeah, I'm like, guys, you got to figure that out. Figure that out. Well, yes. Rachel, it was really cool to catch up with you. You did so good too. Yes. By the way, you did great.
Definitely don't feel like I did. Like I said, I had my outline too of all my answers to my questions, and I feel like I butchered majority of them. But you know what? This was my first podcast. It's a learning experience, and I'm proud of myself for doing it. So
you did great.
You did amazing. I'm proud of you for doing it. And I want to leave this in on the podcast because there's so many people that we interview with that when they get on, they're about to throw up or something. And I'm like, why? Calm down. Like, it's fine. We're just having a conversation. It just says recording up in the screen. Like, first of all, anything you say, we can take out if we wanted to. Right. But also, it's just like, but I remember like, back at like the first time I did a podcast too. And like one of my first podcasts was live on Facebook. I was like, Lord. So but I think that it's good for other people to hear that. Like,
I was the same
Sign
way.
up to do the podcast and don't be scared to do it and share your knowledge because you're going to help somebody.
Yes.
Well, I really appreciate the opportunity for being here. I'm very thankful for our personal and professional relationship. I hope to see you guys at an event soon.
For
Yes.
sure.
Bye,
Bye.
Rachel.
Bye.
This has been Power Women of the Trades. Like what you hear so far? Leave us a review in Apple and make sure to listen to our other episodes wherever you enjoy listening to your podcasts. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.